Alright, hello everybody. We are doing the Yama guide today. I'm going to do my very best to give you a live kill after I give the explanation. I do already have my B-roll, so that's at least good. But I've thrown out my back, and it really hurts to just sit in general, or lay down, or exist at all. So this should be pretty fun. But I do this for you, because I want you to be able to do the things that you want to do in this game. And this might be one of them. So we are going to talk about Yama today. Here is the budget that I have decided. Please, disclaimer, do not worry about the Infernal and the Avernic. It's such a minimal increase that you can just solve in other slots. For instance, if you wanted to bring just a 6-way magic swap and have a 6-way melee swap, you could just do that. You could camp melee gear, you could get your prims, you could get your ferocious gloves, you could get a berserker ring imbued, you can get an old Tor, you could get an ember light, you could get a fury or a torture or a rancor, you could get a basilisk jaw or an oathplate helm or whatever, you know? So there's plenty of spots to upgrade the strength bonus and accuracy that these two things are giving me, which is barely better than a dragon defender and a fire cape. You can go check it out yourself. It's truly it's fairly minimal. It's not that big of a deal. Of course, it's a little bit bigger of a deal since we're fighting a demon and we're using Demon Bane, and these things really want those things. But again, you can make up the difference in some of the gears that I am opting out of. The main thing that we need in this fight is going to be an Arc Light or an Ember Light and a Purging Staff. You can do this with Toxic Staff of the Dead or whatever, but Purging Staff is very good because for some reason, I don't know why they don't have demons in this target-specific thing on the equipment page, but this staff does, I believe it's like 80% accuracy and 60% additional damage to demons or something with your spell. You're going to hit very hard, but we are not camping it because that is bad. Camping it is bad, but when we are going to do the Donofly later that I'll tell you about, if you need to end up jumping out of it and maging at the end of the kill for P3, you can do that. And if you're not comfortable with Donofly, or while you're learning, we still have a decent mage setup on to just do that anyway, and we'll be okay. So, the total cost of our current setup is just under 60 mil. The bulk of the cost is, of course, in the Synapse, which usually hovers around 30 mil. The Burning Claws are completely unnecessary. It's just something that you will use if your Arclight specs end up landing, and you just need to use some spec on stuff. The Tormented Bracelet is, I think, like in the 20 mil range right now. So these two things are basically the entire budget. Everything else is less than 10 mil easily. Blue Moon's very cheap. You can sit on Blue Moon for your mage setup for basically the majority of your account until you have a Shadow. Then you can consider upgrading Blue Moon to Ancestral. Virtus is a waste of money. Don't buy that. I don't know why people are buying that. Don't do that. It's like rarely ever worth the upgrade. I promise. Just trust me. It is not worth spending 90 mil on that when you could buy so many other things for 90 mil. Rock Blue Moon for as long as you can. The 3-way switch is all you need for magic. This is spec. The inventory is just some simple food. We have a couple combo eats for while you're learning. And then this is actually an interesting piece of food if you haven't used it before. It heals you in 2 chunks, so it's 26 total. It'll be 14 initially. And then after, I believe it's 3 ticks, 3 or 4 ticks, 5 ticks, I don't know, something like that. A little bit afterwards, you'll get healed for 12. So it's 26 total HP. And where you'll be using that is when you're over here fighting the judge. When you're on this platform waiting for it to phase back over into Yama, you can just munch one of these things and this will be better food for you. And you can also combo you with it, I believe. So you can get a really hefty heal if you need to. You can use Blood Fairy if you want to, but I don't think it's really necessary. Like a regular Fury would be better than a Glory, obviously. But if you only have the Blood Fury, I guess you could. It's not like you're going to go broke using it, but you will cut into your profits if you do. I would recommend just getting a Torture instead, or just a regular Fury, or of course a Rancor will be completely insane in that slot. Yeah, other than this, you can kind of just upgrade where you can. Once you get comfortable that you don't need to bring the full mage swap, like you're just rocking Donofly, maybe you're in a duo, you can go ahead and rock a full melee setup and you'll be good to go. But I'm going to explain how to do it solo, and then of course in duo there is no additional scaling. Things just get a little funky in P3 when getting into Donofly, but outside of that nothing really changes and you can kind of go about your merry way and the boss will fall over a lot quicker. I will say the kills in this setup take a while. I think I averaged maybe 8-minute kills. So I wouldn't recommend you farm in this setup solo, but this would be a perfectly fine way to learn in a duo if that is what you wanted to do. So let us talk about some mechanics, because the inventory is pretty self-explanatory. Teleport out, we're going to be rocking Thrall's Death Charge and Mark of Darkness. You do need all 3 of these. So to make that a little bit easier, we do have some Aether runes in our rune pouch because they count as Cosmic and Soul runes, which we are going to need. We need Cosmics here, we need Cosmics and Soul here, and then we need Souls here. So very nice to have all these three things. That's what we're going to be using is those three, plus our Dark Demon Bane for casting. If you can't quite foot the Aether runes, you can just keep a loose stack of runes here, Death runes, Soul runes, whatever your loose rune is. You can just keep it in your inventory. You'll lose one space, but it's not a big deal. And again, once you get more comfortable, you can replace a fair amount of this food, probably with some more prayer pots or, you know, whatever it is you end up wanting to bring, more switches, thing like that. If you end up liking mage better, that's totally fine. The argument for camping mage is just because it's quote-unquote easier. I personally do not think that's true. I think it's actually easier, and it's more damage to just use melee, so just use melee as much as you can, because one, it's stronger, so it'll be faster, and two, it's like just as brain dead as using magic, so I don't really understand that argument, and I'll show you why in a bit here. But let's get into some mechanics. I think this is just a surge potion, by the way. You need 81 herb lore, and it restores 25% spec every 5 minutes. You just have to drink it again. We might not even click it. I might forget that it's there, but it's, you know, I felt like my inventory was a little naked, and I was like, yeah, sure, we'll bring a surge potion, whatever. Okay, so phase 1 of Yama. You'll just click challenge on him. He'll spawn over here. He's gonna just spawn in this little box, and all these glyphs are gonna light up. These two will be the same color, and all you have to do is kind of just hang out next to the glyph. You're going to be protecting melee by default. He will sometimes do a ranged or a magic attack on you, indicated by, one, an animation, but more importantly, a sound cue. So if you don't play with sounds on, it'll be a little harder to notice what exactly he's doing with his attack. But if you notice that there's fire around your character, you're going to be protecting magic. And if you don't notice that there's fire around your character, and for some reason he's not meleeing you, that means he's probably attacking you with ranged, and there will be little shadows around your character, and you need to protect range, and then you go right back to protect melee. It's sort of like if you were meleeing Jad without a halberd. You know, you go back to melee, and then when you see a thing happening, you switch to whichever one you need, and then you go back to melee. That is what he does normally. Eventually, he's going to do a special attack on you. After, I believe it's 4 or 5 attacks, he's going to do a special attack, and all you have to do is move to the center of the corresponding glyph to cancel that attack. And then once you have canceled that attack, all it does is go in a counterclockwise. However, after you do a full cycle, let's say this is orange, blue, or purple, whatever. Orange, purple, orange, purple, orange, right? So once we do our full loop, we get back over here. It's going to continue the cycle, right? So this will be orange, orange. We don't go to this glyph after we have circled around to this one. We would skip this one and go here, because he just did orange, which means next time he's going to do purple. So it's always going to be alternating depending on what these two are starting as. So orange, orange, purple, orange, purple. It'll be 3 of the same, 2 of different, and you just, if you do end up going in the full circle, make sure you skip this one and go over here. Now, while you are doing that, there will be some other things happening in the arena. For P1, his special attacks are fairly simple. It's just, he's gonna like shoot a projectile at you, and you just need to go stand in the thingy, and then kite him over here. He'll shoot a projectile eventually, go stand in the thingy. However, while you're doing this, a few things can happen. Only on the purple glyphs, sometimes he will replace a special attack with summoning void flares, which will be these little jellyfish-looking ass things, these little orbs. And all you need to do is switch into your 3-way mage, make sure you're Mark of Darkness, and you're either going to kill them by sending 2 attacks at them, because they're full HP. You'll send 2 attacks. You can use the Purging Staff's special attack on your second attack on the orb, if you would like to save some ticks, assuming you have 25%. Because what it does is when you kill something with the Purging Staff special attack, it will refund your special attack energy, and your next attack will come out in 3 ticks. So you'll attack once on the orb that spawns, spec it, attack normally on the next orb that spawns, spec it, and you will deal with that pretty quickly. If you are a little slow on this, and it doesn't look like you're going to get the kill on probably one of them, you might get one down, and then you realize that you're not going to be quite fast enough to get the second one down. If you look in the center of the orb, you'll notice that it has a color in it. It'll either be purple or orange. And when you understand the timing of his special attacks, you can actually use the glyphs to cancel the orb's explosion, because if you don't kill them in time, it'll do damage to you and heal the boss. But if you can cancel it with a glyph by running into it, sometimes you'll cancel his special attack and the orb blowing up. If you can't do that, sometimes you have to fix it, and you'll have to, like, hit this thing, and you'll have to go hit another because you timed it a little wrong, and you'll have to go hit another. I'll show that in one of my B-rolls. I'll actually put it up right here. I think I, like, accidentally I didn't have autocast on, so I staff bashed the orb, and I had to quickly recover and figure out what I was going to do to make up for that error, where I still had glyphs. I just had to make sure I remembered which cycle I was in. This is unlikely to happen in a duo, obviously, because you can just say, oh, I'll grab South Orb, and your other guy will be like, okay, I'll grab West. And you don't really need to worry about it at all. Solo, this is a little bit more daunting, especially in a budget setup, because we just have such little damage that we're going to have to deal with things like that, and you're going to have to call audibles all the time. That's just how it's going to be. Okay, while you are dealing with all of that, two sort of arena events can happen, where sometimes fire will spawn on the side of the arena and travel across the row where it spawns. Wherever it is on this, it'll travel from right to left or left to right, depending on where it spawns. You just need to make sure you are out of the way, because if you get hit by one of those, you will be stunned for a couple ticks. And if you get stunned in P2, things can get a little hairy, but I'll explain that in a bit. The other arena event that can happen is purple flame walls. And what'll happen is, in this sort of X pattern, a flame wall will cut the arena and start moving towards you. All you have to do is 2 tiles skip this flame wall. And the way you do that, you'll have to get a feel for this. It's a little bit strange. I don't believe we have true tile markers for it. So what I like to do is, whenever let's say the flame wall is diagonal here, and it's coming at me. What I like to do is, when the flame wall enters the tile that I'm hovering that I want to go to, I'm just going to go ahead and click, because one of two things will happen. The flame wall will either be in this tile when I click, because we'll swap spots on the next tick, or the flame wall, if I'm a little bit late, will be on this tile, and it's traveling 1 tile at a time. So regardless of what happens, I'm going to skip over it if it's diagonal. If you have a bunch, like you're in a really awkward situation, and let's say the center of the X is over here, and you have to double dodge walls, you can do that. You can, like, move out, move in, move out, move in, and double dodge the wall. Or what you can also do is, since the X will create this sort of V shape at the top, you can go to where the X center point is located, go to that column, and do what I just did, except hover your mouse a little bit further out, and then when it passes your mouse, just go ahead and move. It'll be more apparent when you get in there and you just mess with it a little bit. If you do end up getting hit by it, your prayer will drop, your protection prayer will drop, and you'll take a bit of damage. Make sure you get your protection prayer back up as fast as you can, because if you're next to Yama and you get your prayer turned off and he hits you with a melee attack, you might just die, because he hits pretty hard with melee, somewhere in the mid-40s, I believe is his max, maybe even a 50. But you'll get chunked, it'll hurt. You won't die, but you'll be like, oh, I guess I have to eat a few times. So those are the 2 arena events, and those are the P1 mechanics. It sounds like a lot, but it's fairly simple once you get used to what is happening. You get used to the timings, the rotation of your special attacks, and all of those things. One more big thing to note about the special attack. If he does spawn orbs, he can only do so where he would have special attacked with his purple special attack. He cannot do it if it is going to be an orange special attack. So what you need to do is be aware that a purple special is coming. Let's say it's right here. This is our purple glyph. We're right here. We're attacking Yama. We're doing our thing. We know purple's here. It's like, okay, he's about to spec. Okay, he snapped and he summoned some orbs. So now I need to take care of these orbs as fast as possible, or I need to get ready to cancel the purple orb, because he is then going to do a purple special attack anyway. He didn't skip this. He just replaced it with spawning orbs, and he's still going to do the purple special next, right? So what you can do is look for the orange orb, kill the orange orb, and get ready to cancel both the purple orb and his special attack at the same time. It usually lines up, you just have to trust, but if you're feeling a little bit nervous, just go ahead and kill that purple orb too. It's not like it changes the outcome really, it's like a super min-maxy thing. You don't have to do it, it's just available to you if you would like to do it and practice it, which you'll need to sort of practice it for if you plan on going for Radiant Oathplate. But that'll be in the future, don't worry about that. Okay, that's the bulk of Phase 1 and some other little nitpicky things that just happen throughout the fight. After you do Phase 1, you'll end up getting sent over here to the Judge of Yama. All you have to do when you get sent over here, turn off your protection prayer, you don't need that. You're going to hop, you can one-tick these stones, you can go jump, 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 stop on this line, get a magic attack on the Judge of Yama if you can, otherwise just jump all the way through, make sure you're on solid ground, and then get ready to dodge some sort of tormented demon special attack bombs that are going to land on the ground. You want to make sure you don't stand on them because that would be bad news, that hurts you. The way the Judge works, you'll always max hit, so if you would like, you could bring like a Saradama Godsword or something to heal yourself up on the Judge of Yama, like whatever, do you. But all you have to do is when you cast your magic attack, it will then be, you will have to be forced to melee. It'll protect magic and range, so you're forced to melee. So you smack it with a melee attack, then you go back to your magic gear, hit it with magic attack, back to your melee gear, da-da-da-da-da. While you're doing that, if you would like to, let's say the Judge is on this set of tiles here. It's a 3x3. And what it's going to do is it'll send a fireball at your location. You can stand under the Judge because it's immobile, and it will send a fireball at your location. You can move out of the way. It will damage the Judge, and you can get your attack, and then you can go shift-click and stand back under the Judge, and it'll get some damage on the Judge again. And that's all you have to do for the Judge. That's going to happen twice. What I like to do when I get into the Judge is get my attack off, and you don't have to do this as much anymore because Mark of Darkness is now 15 minutes long if you have the Purging Staff equipped when you cast it. Otherwise, it's 5 minutes. Regardless, good change, but please also just get rid of the spell because what the hell. That's like a rant video, though. We're not going to cover that. I will cast Mark of Darkness, and I will cast Death Charge when I get to the Judge's platform, because you are allowed to Death Charge off of the Judge's death, which is pretty nice. You'll get some spec back, so if you didn't land your 2 or 3 Arclight specials, and you really need those because your stats aren't quite maxed, then cool. You get 15% back from the Judge, and you can go and get a spec. After you kill the Judge, you will then spawn back over here. You get your prayers back on, and you go click Yama, and you bring him over to this corner again. Now, his special attacks are going to be slightly different. The orange special will no longer just be a projectile. What he's going to do is drop a meteor on your head. When he drops that meteor on your head, you're going to be stunned for a few ticks. And all you need to do when that meteor spawns is just spam click to get onto that orange tile, and you'll negate the damage. It's totally fine. If you're in a duo, your buddy can stand over here, and you can stand right here, or whatever. If you're both meleeing, which you should be, your buddy can stand like in this general vicinity. You can stand right here, and you're both ready to go cancel the meteor if need be. The way it works is if you both run at the same time, whoever gets there on the earliest tick, it will use that glyph's charge, and you won't lose both of these at the same time because you can't stack the protection from the same glyph. So don't worry about like coordinating that. You both can just jump for it, and whoever gets it, cool. It's just a fail-safe, right? If you're by yourself, obviously you just have to do it by yourself. Spam click this thing and you'll get it. There are alternatives to dodging this, but I'm not going to teach them to you. If you want the more advanced sort of dodging things, you can go to one of the more advanced guides for Yama. But loosely, you have to be like 6 tiles away, and you have to red-click Yama, and you'll walk back into him and dodge the meteor completely without having to use a glyph. Don't fucking worry about that. Just use the glyph. That's what it's there for. You can do the sweaty shit later, okay? So that's what happens with the orange special in Phase 2. The purple special is actually mostly the same. He just like changes the projectile. Yeah, it's kind of the same. You just go cancel it on the purple thing, and the same rules still apply throughout all of the different phases, right? So the fires can still spawn, the wall will still spawn and try and mess you up. He can still spawn orbs while he's doing all of this that you have to manage, things of that nature. But otherwise, the fight is the same as P1. The biggest change is just that the orange attack turns into the meteor, and if you let the meteor hit you, you gon' die. You have to be at least 3 tiles away from the center of the impact, I think, to not die. And even if you're 3 tiles away, you're going to take an 80, which is a little bit rough. Okay, after you get phase 2 down, so at 66 and 33%, he'll send you over to the judge. So let's say we got him to 33%, boom, we're over to the judge. We do the same, literal, this does not change, just go do the same thing again. And then you will start P3. And P3 is Yama's quote-unquote enrage phase. And this is sort of the majority of the fight. This is like where you're really going to have to execute to make sure you can secure the kill. And I'm going to give you both methods of dealing with this now. So, when we spawn in P3, we no longer have to worry about these glyphs. These are irrelevant. These are turned off. He has siphoned their power, and he's ready to just dish it out to you. So what's going to happen is Yama's going to stay chilling out in this center spot. Okay? You have 2 options here. What I'm going to suggest you do, while you are learning, for your first few kills, just camp magic. Okay? Get used to what's happening in the enrage phase. Sort of get a feel for how to dodge the waves and, you know, what exactly is going on, when he spawns the orbs, alternating your prayers, all of this kind of thing. But when you are fairly comfortable, learn the Donofly. 2 reasons. 1, it's not that complicated, and 2, it's way, way, way more damage than camping magic, I promise. And it's also very forgiving to learn. Super, super forgiving. Don't be intimidated by it. I'll show you in the kill that if you end up messing up the cycle, you can just leave. You can just leave and go back to your mage camp. So there's no reason to not at least try to do it every single time you get into the enrage phase. So I'm going to explain Donofly first, and then I'll explain mage camping. Because mage camping is fairly simple to do in the grand scheme of things. Donofly is a little more confusing. But first, let's talk about what's going to happen during the enrage phase. So Yama's going to be here, and based on the glyphs that you saw in phase 1, he's going to do the opposite attack to start. So if you saw purple glyphs, he will attack you with magic to start out. So you will need to protect from magic. If you saw orange glyphs, you'll need to start with protect ranged. You don't have to pay attention to that too much, like the starting glyphs. It's not imperative that you pay attention to that, because again, you can see the animation and hear the audio to know which prayer you need to start on. So if you're unsure, just pay attention to that first attack and you'll know what's going on. So every time he attacks you, regardless of what it is, he's going to then alternate to the other style. So let's say he started on mage, we protect magic, cool, the next attack is going to be range. So we can go ahead and preemptively swap to that, because we just saw that he did the magic attack, we got maybe chipped a little bit of damage, maybe it hit a 3, maybe it hit a 0, whatever. We can just go ahead and swap to protect range. And then, when we see that we take another hit of damage, we can swap to protect magic. And you sort of just preemptively do it to keep yourself in cycle. But again, if you ever get lost, just listen. Listen and look at the screen. That's all you have to do. If you ever get lost, listen and look at the screen. If you're off, you're going to take a hit. It's going to be like a 28, maybe a 30, something like that. Not the end of the world. Just make sure that if you take an off prayer, you don't then swap to the other one, because again, he's going to alternate. And if you get, backwards alternating, you're going to end up dying. So that's what's going to kill you most of the time, is you're going to forget to switch your prayer and you're going to try and run through a wall and you're going to die. But I'm going to give you a little secret. While that's happening, the walls will come at you and these meteors will be falling. It's not going to happen all at once, but these are periodic things that are going to happen in P3 in general. The next thing we'll talk about is that meteor fall. So the meteor fall is actually super simple to deal with. The only time it gets a little bit crusty is when a wall is coming at you and you need to dodge a meteor. Then it's like, oh no, I now need to move over here. And you're fine. You'll dodge the wall and you'll move a little bit further. To dodge the meteors, what's going to happen is it's either going to spawn vertical or horizontal to your character. All you have to do is move to a perpendicular tile, if that makes sense. If you don't know what that means, all you have to do is move to the line that isn't threatened, okay? So if it's vertical, right, spawning like this, we just move one tile to the left or to the right. If it's horizontal, all we have to do, move one tile to the south or one tile to the north. And then it will do another set after its initial spawn. So let's say it's horizontal, then it'll go diagonal, and then it'll go vertical. So it's always going to like give you a little clock, right? So all you have to do, let's say it's diagonal, right? Okay. So I know that this spot is threatened, this spot is threatened, and this spot is threatened. I'm going to go right there. Just view a little box around your character, right? A little one-tile box around your character. All you have to do is move to one of the safe tiles around your character based on how that meteor is falling. If it's falling from, you know, south, what would that be? Southeast to northwest, then you need to go northeast or southwest, right? You just need to do the opposite movement, one tile, based on how that meteor is falling. And that'll be more apparent when we get to that enrage phase. The other thing that's going to happen is the waves are going to be coming at you, just like they were in P1 and P2. Those waves are coming at you. They're going to be a little bit more frequent this time, though. All you have to do, the easiest thing that I have found, stand back here if you're mage camping. If you're Donoflying, you can pretty much ignore all this shit, which is why Donofly is so cool. You don't even have to think about this. I'm explaining this to you because when you're mage camping, you need to know how to do this. But when you're Donoflying, it doesn't matter. You skip all of it naturally, and that's why it's so cool. But for mage camping, you're going to stand back here on this tile. You're going to stand right here, right in front of the staircase on the left. And all you're going to do is mage Yama from here. The note that I'm going to give you is going to change your world if you're struggling with wave skips. If you find yourself, you're like, damn, dude, I keep getting hit by the wave skip. What I want you to try, okay, I want you to try this. Hover your mouse cursor over the tile that is 3 in front of you. Not 2, which this is how you skip, right? You move 2 tiles. I want you to hover it 3 tiles out. The reason being is when the wave collides with your mouse cursor, with that tile, I want you to click it. And it works like magic, bro. But when you click it, I guess if you do end up walking forward, it's completely fine. But when you click it, I want you to click forward so you end up on that tile and click boss. Just hover your mouse on this 3rd tile, this 3rd row right here. And when the wave passes your cursor, hit it. Okay? I promise you, it works like a charm. You don't have to worry about what tick the wave is on, anything like that. Just when the wave passes that 3rd little tile, you go. Okay? Now, the other thing that's going to happen, eventually, after you deal with these mechanics, after the double wave, you'll see a double wave spawn, and you'll be like, oh my god, it's 2 waves. Now I have to do this. I have to go, oh, and then I have to do some shit. I have to, like, dodge my meteors, and then I need to go back here, and then I have to, I dodged the wave again. He's going to spawn 2 orbs, but they're going to be on half HP. So what can you do? Purging Staff spec. Boom. Purging Staff spec. Boom. And now we're back here. We're chilling. We're back here. We're doing our thing. We're dodging the meteor. We're stepping this way. We're stepping that way. We're stepping that way. Cool. We're dodging the meteors. Easy peasy. And that's going to repeat until the end of the fight. You're alternating your prayers. You're dodging the meteors. You're going through the waves. And you're dealing with the orbs when they spawn. I know I say that's it. It's a little bit more complex than it sounds. I get it. But once it clicks, it really clicks, and it's not that complicated. Now, let's talk about the Donofly method, okay? Daunting, I know. It's a little bit glonky in a duo, sometimes, but it's an easy fix. What you're going to do to initiate the Donofly in a solo or a duo, what you want to have happen is you want to melee attack Yama on the 3rd tick that you spawn back into this arena. Okay? Now, a good way to measure this is one of 2 things. You can either put the visual metronome over your head, or you can rely on your character's movement. Let's say I spawn back here. I know that it's going to take me 3 ticks to attack Yama, because it's going to take me 3 ticks to move there. Because if you are unaware, we either walk 1 tile per tick, or we run 2 tiles per tick. So if I spawn back here and I just click Yama, 1, 2, 3, and I'm attacking on 3, boom, I'm in. What gets weird is if you spawn, let's say, here. Now I am 1, 2 ticks away from Yama. So that's bad. What can we do to fix that? We can either, this is what this delay tile is for, You don't have to use this tile. It is not required to use this tile. You can delay on this tile as well. You just need to make sure you end up on 1, okay? If you don't end up on 1, when you run to 2, which takes 2 ticks, you just need to make sure you can run to this tile in 2 ticks, which I think you can actually get to from most of this front row. If you go outside of... You wouldn't go this far. If you go outside of 4, if you go over here for some reason, you're going to be off. 1, 2, 3. See? We just need to make sure we get to 2 in 2 ticks. So any of these 4 tiles will be fine. So if you spawn back here, right, we would get to him on tick 2. We don't like that. So we can go 1, 2, 3, and then attack Yama on 3, right? We just need to delay that 1 tick and make sure we're attacking on tick 3. That is literally the hardest part of Donofly, straight up. That's it. If you can get that down, you are chilling, bro. I'm going to tell you. Because all you're doing after that is when you get to 1 and you see that XP drop, you click to 2, you click back to attack. You see that XP drop, you click to 3, and then you click to attack him. You see that XP drop, you click to 4, you click to attack him. You see that XP drop, you click to 5, you click to attack him. You see your XP drop, you click to 1, click to attack him. Loop and loop and loop and loop and loop. When you see the double waves, which happens after about like 20 seconds, you'll see the double waves. You don't have to worry about meteors. You don't have to worry about double waves. All you have to do is attack him and change your prayers. If you're in a tankier setup, you barely even have to worry about switching to protect range. I'm going to be completely honest with you, this boss is a bitch. If you see those double flame walls and you see the orb spawn, all you have to, it'll be after you attack on 5. You'll attack on 5, boom, and you'll see the orbs. Jump out. All you're going to do is jump out, switch to your mage gear. You're going to go Purging Staff spec, and you're going to jump back here, and you're going to finish the kill like that. That's all I want you to do for while you're learning. Don't worry about the orb tile that I have over there. Don't worry about any of that. I'm not even going to tell you about it. If you want to know about it, check out No Monkey's video. He goes into more detail about it in his, like, the Nomo Fly tech or something like that. All I want you to do is try to learn Donofly for as long as you can. Stay in cycle as long as you can. If you end up getting out of cycle, you will know because Yama will have hit you in the face with a melee attack. If he hits you in the face with a melee attack, you have fallen out of cycle. But that's fine. If you want to learn how to get back in cycle, it's a little bit complex. If your duo is still in cycle, you can just use them as a marker, like wait on tile 2, and then when they get back to you, you can just get in cycle like that. But if you fall out of cycle, don't even worry about it. Just come back here at Mage Camp. It's fine. You tried, you're trying to learn, eventually it's going to stick. If you're in a duo, most of the time, both of you doing Donofly, you won't even have to get to the orbs. You'll kill him before orbs. And even if you don't, he'll have like 50 HP left and it'll be fine. Okay? So in the example kill, I will show you all of this, and we're going to get to it right now, I suppose. I'm not pre-potted, but I can do what I can, and I'll sort of talk about what I'm doing as I go. This is already very long-winded. I'm sorry. I know it's not the most interesting thing in the world, but I got to tell you how to do the boss, you know? So if you would like to pre-pot, you can. Go ahead and do that at the bank. You can pre-pot a super combat. You can pre-pot a stamina potion. You can pre-pot an antidote ++. That is the reason we are rocking the Serpentine Helmet. This boss will poison you. Serpentine Helmet is a good budget option because it prevents that from happening. Just be sure you have charges in it, because if you don't, it becomes a wet noodle and doesn't actually do anything for you. And I barely have charges in it, but we're good. So all I want to do at the start of this kill is I'm going to cast my Mark of Darkness with my Purging Staff equipped, and that will cover me for the entirety of the fight, because it's 15 minutes now. I'm gonna pot up with my Divine Super Combat because I'm not pre-potted. I'm not gonna worry about an angler or anything like that. I'm just gonna drink it and we're gonna go, okay? Hopefully my back doesn't murder me. Hopefully I don't tweak. All right, here we go. So we're gonna spawn this, and we're gonna get our thrall going, and we're gonna challenge Mr. Yama, and we're gonna pot up. Okay, try and land a couple of Arclight specs. If you don't, it's not the end of the world. Just try. We landed one. Ideally, we want to land 3, but try and land a couple. Here's our first spec. We're just going to cancel it. And we're going to preemptively go over to this orange tile. I'm missing ticks, but don't worry about it. I have excuses, okay? I threw my back out. It's very painful to do this at the moment. Pot up when you need to. Oh yeah, I guess a minor note. You'll take damage and get smited, depending on what tile. Like this one will do 9 damage or 12 damage. It's based on the vicinity you are in to Yama. So you see how I caught that with Protect from Magic, but it came up as that blue 0? That's because I was still protected by this for 10 ticks. So that's all you're doing. You see how slow that was? So let's try and tile skip this. Tile skip, but we still need to hit this special attack. So let's do that. We're still protected, so you see that green 0? We were still protected by the glyph, which eats his ranged attack. This one will eat his mage attack, but we don't care. If it happens, cool. If it doesn't, whatever. Looking for 66%. Let's cancel that. Let's bring him over to orange. We're still protected, but good to get in a habit of protecting those. Let's bring him over here to make sure we're one tick away from this. Catch that. So he's going to spawn orbs here. So what I'm going to do is cast on them. He's going to get a little confused. See the XP drop? I'm going to spec this one. And remember, he's still going to do a purple attack, so I'm going to stay here for a second. I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to get out of the way because those are going to stun me. I don't want that to happen. And then we're going to pull him over to this orange one because we're still not quite at our threshold. Let's catch that. Try to avoid eating while you're trying to do DPS. Let's cancel this. Let's tile skip that. I'm a little bit late, but it's fine. Detect magic on that. Alright, we're over here. We can cancel this whenever we need to. It's all about preemptively moving. So he's about to phase. Get a little bit extra damage. You do a little bit less damage once you put him into the range of sending you over to the judge. So here we go. We're at the judge. There's a little bit of delay there, so be mindful. Don't get hit by the fires. Forgot to mention that, but it's not that big of a deal. Switch your gear, hit this, switch your gear, death charge. You can leave piety on here as well. Try and get it to target itself. And then this should be last attack, and we're going to combo E. And we're going to heal up as well for our prayer. I'm going to eat one more angler, and I'm going to preemptively run over to this tile. Catch that. Crawl up. Cancel that. Let's head over to the orange tile. Let's try and land an Emberlight spec. Or an Arclight spec, rather. Nice, we landed. Let's drink our Surging Pot. I'm going to go for one more. Didn't land it. That's fine. We're still 2 tiles away from this, but we need to dodge this fire. We just spam click this. We got the negation. We're good. Now let's run over to this purple tile, because we know that's next. Keep an eye on your Divine. It can run out during this fight and likely will. Make sure you have that going. Let's get ready to skip. Let's just cancel it with this. This also will eat the Flame Wall, as you can see. Bring him over, because we know what's next. Catch that. Catch that again. Spam click this to catch that. Catch that as well. Bring him over to this purple tile, because we know that's next. Pair up when you need to. Brawl up again when you need to. Brawls are a lot of damage, don't underrate them. Okay, he spawns orbs, so I'm going to get ready to kill these. A little bit awkward here. Gonna take some damage. But it's okay. We're chill. Catch that. Spec this. Run over to a purple tile. I'm just going to go ahead and preemptively skip. Grab that. I'm going to combo E. I got hit by a flame if you didn't see that there. Didn't catch that because I was eating. Like I said, try not to eat. We're going to get walled here. But we actually didn't. I one tile moved it. I was lucky. Need to redivine here. Need to eat that. 40%. We're almost there. 36. A couple of good licks in right there. We can send him at any point here. Okay, he sent us over. I'm gonna eat while I'm on the way. I'm just gonna hit both of those. Chill out on this tile. I'm just going to eat again. And skip over these. And go into my melee gear. Make sure my Piety's back on. I don't worry about switching to the magic prayer here because it doesn't really matter that much. Get a death charge off. Should be it. Prayer up. Full heal if you can. Let's get ready for Donofly. So check it out. 1, 2, 3. We're in. Attack range to start. XP drop and move. Change your prayers when you can. You know what's coming, so just leave your prayer book open. Okay, let's hop out. We just took a magic hit. Let's grab our spec here. We didn't have Augury on, so we actually don't hit this in time. Hold on. It's gonna get crusty. Stay with me. We got there. Didn't have Augury on, so I missed that. Alright, now we're just alternating. Check this out. One tile. Keep it tight. I missed that, but it's fine. I missed that, but it's fine. Back to range, because I know I missed it. Third tile, click that. Got a little frisky. Got a little frisky. We see orbs again. We just took a magic hit. Make sure you switch over to protect range. Right-click, get those void flares, because sometimes you'll click Yama. You don't want that to happen. Dodge these meteors. We just took our mage hit. There's our range hit. Let's preemptively go mage. Let's get a prayer potion here. Let's move forward. We switched a little too fast there. A little too fast. Let's go back here. Third tile. Watch this. Click. Done. Third tile. Click. Done. Orbs. You see the flares. Let's grab those. Switch to protect range, because we did take a magic hit. Try and remember. That's probably the thing that's going to kill you the most, is not remembering to switch prayers. That's what's been killing me, for sure. Grab a prayer pot if you need. Take magic. Here comes a wave. Watch that third tile. Boom. Run a little bit further, because we've got that meteor to come in. We're going to be late on that? Oh, we're close. Oh no, we killed him. Okay. That was an 8-minute and 55-second kill. As you can see, it takes a long time to do this boss in budget. So be sure you know what you are in for if you want to do this. I am not perfect at this boss by any means. But obviously putting more money into your gear so you don't have to sit there for 9 minutes is better. In my current setup, in my max setup, my kills are about half this time. So do with that information what you will. Oathplate is insane here. It is so good to get Oathplate here. If you want to completely use your magic setup at the end, you can bring a couple more swaps for it. If you're just going to camp magic at the end of the fight, what I would suggest you do is, instead of doing this three-way magic setup, consider a three-way melee setup instead, because you do still need both styles to do the Judge of Yama. If you are going to mage camp, yes, you can mage camp. Your kills are going to take even longer, okay? So bear that in mind. Melee is very good here. Reason being is that if Yama is attacking you and you are using magic to attack Yama, his defense is higher, just naturally. So if you use Emberlight specs and then you end up magic attacking Yama, they don't do anything. So keep that in mind. If you're in a duo, you can reset his defense, which is not great. If you are mage camping the whole kill, just max out your mage bonus, you know, bring the MA2 cape, bring a ward, bring Eternals, whatever. If you're going to mage camp, you're going to mage camp, and that's fine. If you have a better magic setup than your melee setup, I get it. But I do personally think that magic is way harder. Like, you just saw in Enraged Face how much more effort I had to put into that than doing the Donofly. So if you're in a duo, really, really learn this Donofly method, okay? And what I'm going to tell you is if you are not the host, okay? If you are not the host, there is going to be a part of this cycle where instead of going to the 4 tile, you're going to go to this fix tile. Let me label this fix. Let me label this fix. This is the fix tile. Because there's going to be a point in this cycle where the host gets a specific meteor pattern drop that they can run through going to these tiles that the non-host cannot run through. So you would go to 3. I want to say it's after double wave. I can't remember. I'll put it in a pinned comment if I can figure out where it is in the cycle that you actually run to the fixed tile. But it's after 3. You can probably just do it in general, if we're being honest, but you'll understand what I mean. Run it normally as a duo, the way I explained it for the solo. Both of you get on tick 3, and then follow the cycle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, over and over and over again. Eventually, you'll find that spot where 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one of you is getting hit. On that moment in the cycle, use the fix tile. Instead of going to 4, go to fix. Because you'll go from 4 to 5, and you'll end up getting... You'll take like 2 or 3 meteor mashes, and it doesn't feel good. You're not going to die from it, but it doesn't feel good for sure. So you'll notice where that falls in the cycle. You just need to use this fix tile, and you'll fix it. Okay. I think that's about all I can give you for Yama. It's a 47-minute guide. Probably it's going to be longer. We'll see. But I hope this can at least get you into the boss, get your foot in the door. Maybe you get a KC or 2. I did this in complete rags. I do not recommend you do it in this setup, but it is possible, okay? Upgrade where you can. Every upgrade is good. This is some doo-doo gear, okay? You can kill the boss whenever you would like, but use more budget where you can, okay? I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in to this Yama guide. And I hope you will do amazing things and get amazing loot. See ya.